Hello everyone, this is Smita and today I am going to introduce the chapter structure of atom. Okay, have you ever seen the wall? Like when we see the wall, we see that there are lots and lots of bricks, and the mason, he just make the bricks to come together and it will be get arranged in a form of wall, right? So in the same way, we have learned in chapter number 3 that atoms and molecules. See, atoms and molecules. Atoms are the fundamental building blocks of matter. Suppose I am having this watch, right? So there are lots and lots, millions and trillions of atoms in this watch because this is a matter, and atoms, they are the fundamental building block of structure. So anything is made up of atoms, and that atom, according to John Dalton's, it is indivisible. That means it is the smallest unit of matter. We can't divide it. It is indivisible. Now the question arises, are the atoms of one element different from the atoms of different element? And are they really indivisible? Right? So this comes in our mind. So like if we take a comb and we rub it on our dry hair, just take some pieces of paper, and when you will make the comb to come in contact with the paper, you will feel that that comb, it is attracting those bits of paper, right? That means this shows that there is some charge. Now the question is, where does this charge comes from, right? So you can do this activity at home also. Just take a scale or a comb and just rub it on your dry hair, and you will feel that there is an attraction between that comb and those paper, right? So this is the questions, right? Where does this charge come from? So in 1886, E. Goldstein discovered presence of new radiations in a gas chamber, and those radiations, they were positively charged, right? And those radiations, they are known as canal rays. So basically, in 1886, we come to know about the positively charged radiations, which were known as canal rays. So earlier it was supposed that atoms, they are the indivisible things, but in 1900 J.J. Thomson, he proposed that no, there is something inside that atom. That means that atom is consist of subatomic particles. This shows that atom, it is having some particles in it, right? So that was according to J.J. Thomson, and those particles, according to J.J. Thomson, those particles, they were negatively charged, right? So I am going to explain the J.J. Thomson's model. Okay, students. Now, this is Thomson's model of atom. So according to J.J. Thomson, I hope you like that Christmas pie, right? I like it so much. So that Christmas pie, according to J.J. Thomson, the atom is like a Christmas pie. Okay, so we are having a Christmas pie, and that in that pie you have seen that there are dry fruits, cashews and all that thing in the pie. So in the same way, the atom is a sphere. Okay, so atom is a positive sphere. That means atom is having a positive charge, and in that positive sphere, the electrons are embedded. Okay, so just like a pie, there are dry fruits which are embedded in the pie. In the same way, the atom, it is a positive sphere, and those electrons, they are embedded just like the raisins or the dry fruits which are embedded inside the Christmas pie, right? So basically, according to J.J. Thomson, atoms, they are positive sphere. So an atom is a positive sphere, and it is having negatively charged particle, and that particle was known as electrons. Alright, or I can give you another example. You have seen a watermelon. So in the watermelon, that red part is the positive part, right? That red part is the positive part, and those black seeds of the watermelon, they are like the electrons. Okay, although this model, like there were lots of drawbacks in this model, but according to him, an atom consists of a positively charged sphere, and the electrons, they are embedded in it. So basically, according to J.J. Thomson, electrons are negatively charged and they are embedded in it. Now, there is one another thing. According to J.J. Thomson, that positive sphere, that means the charge in that positive sphere, that positive charge as well as the charge of the electrons, they are equal in magnitude. Right? That means the positive charge and the negative charge, the both charge are equal in magnitude. So, as a whole, they will cancel each other. Right? So, as a whole, an atom is electrically neutral. So, the negative and positive charges, they are equal in magnitude. So, the atom as a whole is electrically neutral. Right? So, earlier, according to John Dalton's atoms, they are indivisible particle. Right? They are the smallest particles. Right? After that, J.J. Thomson, he proposed that no, there is something inside the atom and that something is electrically negative in nature. The charge is negative on that and that negative charge particle is known as electron. Right? So, these were two main things which were proposed by J.J. Thomson. So, you must know that the sign of electron is this, E minus. Right? So, the sign of electron is E minus and the electrons, they are negatively charged. So, this was the pudding model, you can say, because J.J. Thomson, he just compared the atom with the Christmas pudding. Right? So, this was J.J. Thomson's model for the atom. After that, the Rutherford's model come into play.